Shane, I want to start with you on this one. Why
Is he going to beat out Shedeur Sanders as the #1 quarterback if he gets it? I'm kidding.
Why does Arizona State make more sense for Jaden Rashada than Colorado?
I mean, just his dad, but I don't.
Or does it?
You asked the wrong person first because I think Colorado makes way more sense.
Really?
Colorado, look, ASU's activation has been awesome. It is so cool to see. It is so cool. And I think that, there's going to be donors behind this, and there already is. Like, we see money being thrown around. It's so cool. But Prime's activation is just a little bit different. It just is from a money standpoint.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think
for sure. So this is the question now. Does Rashada want? Does he need that $14 million? Does he need X amount of money? And go get your bag. Go get your bag.
Yep.
The Colorado players that have committed because of the money or because of Coach Sanders, like, respect. These are young men getting their bag, and that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to take that away because a lot of CU fans have been coming at us for like whatever, and they can do that. We're in your head. It's fine.
Hit that like button though while you're here.
But I think if you're talking about money, then Colorado makes more sense. If you're talking about a pure fit, it's ASU by a mile.
Yeah.
By a mile.
I just the money is great, sure, but this doesn't strike me as a kid that's going to go sit somewhere for a year, which you're not beating out Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
I don't see, unless Shedeur gets the yips and forgets how to throw a football, Deion is playing his son at starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't see
He's already literally announced it.
Yeah, I don't see why a kid of this high caliber would go sit somewhere for a year. And I also don't know why a collective would pay $14 million to a kid who's not starting at quarterback. So Colorado does not make sense to me at all, really.
Yeah, from a pure football fitting standpoint, it's ASU.
But I mean, even from, like I said, from the money perspective, I'm sure they have it, but why would a collective give that money to a kid who is not going to be playing quarterback for a year, at least a year? Yeah, I definitely think ASU makes a lot more sense. I mean, I jokingly mentioned Cal, but they are a school that had offered him early on. If they have $14 million laying around, that would be fucking
If Jaden Rashada went to Cal, the starting quarterback,
the conference of quarterbacks, baby, the quarterbacks of conference,
dude. Don't even get me started.
Conference.
That would be unbelievable. Please no, though.
Colorado made a big enough splash yesterday.
Yeah,
they don't need that. Shit is wild.
Dude,
that shit is so wild.
I'm so over it.
That shit is so wild. If you don't know what we're referring to, they flipped the #1 corner. The second year in a row now.
That Deion has done that.
Deion has done that. So big ups to Deion Sanders for getting 2. And it makes sense. Corner, Deion Sanders, duh. But flipping from Miami is pretty insane.
Yeah, Miami's a weird program. Miami's in a very weird spot. Because, I mean, talk about somebody that flipped from Miami.
Yeah, they haven't been the U since
the early
the
2000s.
U was invented.
Yeah. They were my favorite team to play on.
And the letter, not the nickname.
Also, it's been a minute. Big minute.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you guys. I think Arizona State makes more sense from a football perspective. And I think the energy is different around Kenny and this coaching staff versus Deion's coaching staff. Not that either one is like right or wrong. They're just different.
Yeah.
We've heard in the past from players that have talked with Deion and that coaching staff that it's almost too much. It's distracting. There's a lot of spotlight. Now, some players can handle that. Some players don't want that. Some players
want that. They prefer that.
And by all means, if that's the type of player that you are and you want to be in the spotlight right away, go do that. Kenny's trying to build something here, right? You see it. He was out at the basketball game. We got somebody in the chat. He was out at the basketball game literally on the stairs with recruits.
Desert Mountain Heat, by the way.
Like, he doesn't stop. He does not stop, right? And he, I think, understands that he doesn't have the prominence that comes with being quote-unquote Deion Sanders.
LTC might not have $14 million, but he's got bars. He said Emory walked from Florida so Jaden could run. That's great.
I think a Jaden Rashada commit would be next level.
Well, yeah.
And the dominoes that would fall in terms of getting local recruits for 2024, 2025. You get a 5-star quarterback, everybody sits up in their chair on a national perspective.
Yeah, I would say the one weakness with this team is their ability or lack thereof to recruit receivers. Like, shout out to the guys that are on this roster, but there's not guys coming here to be number one
and quarterbacks.
Well, yeah.
But
I mean, like the Drew Pine is here. Like, there's guys who could be good
recruiting, not transferring.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, but I mean, on both sides of recruiting and transfers, like, this is not a school that's been very attractive to receivers the last couple of years.
But they've been getting receiver transfers.
A move like this gets you the receiver transfers.
Yeah. To your point about the culture of what ASU is building, if there wasn't concrete evidence before, now there clearly is.
Yeah.
ASU basketball last night like that happens because the team earned it. A 15-3 team playing for the #1 spot in the Pac-12, 100%. And this hasn't happened since the 80s, whatever. You can say that. That's a huge factor. But another huge factor is Kenny Dillingham and what he's trying to do in activating this thing, because there was a lot of buzz on social media about that, not just the team's record, but also just supporting athletics. And, Kenny being there, it really feels like a true changing of the guard when it comes to the ASU culture and what fans are expecting and what they're going to bring to these events, because they broke a record last night, guys. 5,500 plus students in attendance.
Looked insane.
It is ridiculous, and it felt every bit of that, if not more. So if you want concrete evidence, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, I brought that up on the show last night. Like, I know we're talking about football, obviously, but like as far as fans going to the basketball games, the players don't care about the result of the game. But the atmosphere that they're seeing there can leave a mark on them. Pretty big game against USC this weekend. That big recruit that we're talking about may or may not be at. Show up.